Okay, here we are. We're trying this again. Can anyone hear me? I would love to know. I was having problems with my microphone before, but I'm not sure if I am now. Hopefully, I've solved the problem, and I'm going to get going. I think so. Okay, let's do this. Okay, excellent. Okay. Welcome back, you guys. So sorry that took a little bit. Oh, wow. I wasted 7 whole minutes. We're going to restart this timer for 60 minutes. As I was explaining before, we're using these colors. This was the cadmium red and the Indian red that I was using before. And these are some other colors that I'm going to be adding today that I have up here and over here. These are some granulating colors that are really pretty, that have a little iridescence to them. So I think that might be nice in the eucalyptus also. All right, so I'm gonna put these up here. I'm gonna take off this fun jacket I got on. I wish the other video streaming worked, because I would have talked to you guys face to face a little bit, but that's okay. What are the names of those paints? Okay, these are our Kuretake. K, I'll put it in the chat. Let's see. I'm going to have to restart this timer too once I start painting. Oops. All right, Kuretake. So these are Kuretake watercolors. And then these are some supplemental ones from Daniel Smith that I really like. Like this phthalo green. And then both of those iridescent colors were Daniel Smith colors. Cute. Okay, so I've already wet down my paints here, and I'm spraying my spray bottle here to get everything nice and wet. We will reset that. Okay, now I'm feeling good about that. And I've got some smaller little water bowls so you guys can see how I'm working my brush a little bit better. And we're just going to dive in. I know these colors are unconventional. I'm going to grab some of this Opera Rose. That's this little guy here. Let's see who makes this one. This is a Winsor & Newton Opera Rose. That's one of my favorite colors. That's that hot pink right there. So anyway, I'm just putting some on my brush. I'm getting it really wet. And I'm going to start with some of these leaves that I feel like are lighter than all the others, because I want to put some of this hot pink in some of these areas that I blotted. And I'm going to continue this a little bit in some of these areas. Just want to pop some hot colors. And most of the time when I start a color, okay, I'm going to keep going with the color because it's already on my brush, and well, I'm cheap and I like to use what I have. Let's see. All right, and then I'm going to start my little blotting process that y'all know I love. You've seen me do it in the watercolor background that I did. And look how that just lightened those up a little bit. I love it. Get a little more water. Get some of these. And I'm really not being too careful other than trying to stay in the leaf. I'm just hitting some of these where I feel like it's got some light hitting them. This color actually reads really light on the tonal spectrum. It's actually, if you turned it to black and white, it actually is a very light gray. So it's a nice reflective color. And then I could start maybe with some of these purples and pull some of this purple in here. Some of these leaves that are maybe behind the other ones. Let's see. This is a good example. I'm just picking one of these colors that's darker. I'm making it a wash. Keep adding water to thin it out. And I'm moving around the page. And then you know I'm going to come back and blot. Blot, blot, blot. See how that, ooh, isn't that lovely? Oh, and I know you're saying, but Julie, they're green. Well, just hold on a minute. We're going to get there. The greens are going to come last. We're going to hit all these other shady spots and some of these darker colors first. Y'all are really going to be amazed when this all comes together because it really is not going to look off with these other colors in it. So I used to have a painting instructor when I was a little girl who, and it was an oil painting instructor, and they made us spurt out colors of every single tube of paint that we had. And they said in order for the painting to look complete, we needed to use all of the colors in our paintings. And I have tended to stick with this throughout my painting over the years because I feel like I do get more dynamic paintings out of it because your eye is pulled all over by these different colors. So I'm just sticking with this purple because it's on my brush. And you see I'm kind of going all over the page. I don't want to get stuck or bogged down in one area. I don't want the paper to start pilling, you know, kind of coming up on itself. So I don't want to work the wet areas too much because I've already painted on them a couple times. I've already painted the background, and then I've also painted the underpainting, and now I'm putting another layer on top of it. So every time I'm massaging the paper, you know, it could pill just a little bit. So I tend to do it once, let it go, let it dry. All right, truth be told on this leaf. All right, I'll expose myself. So there's this line right here that's not supposed to be there. I just had to let it go. It's there, that's fine. I'm gonna hit it with some colors to hopefully make it go away. I think only I'm gonna see it. And now you guys see it too, of course, but I have places where I mess up and I keep going, and it's a lot more rewarding because I'm actually making something. If I get stuck and bogged down in one area, then I'm never making anything. I know that's just a mind game, but it's true. And if you just press ahead, that's why I set a timer also. I feel like I'm not under the gun, but I'm pressed to get it done, and I don't want to just get up and walk away or get up and get frustrated or get distracted by the dishes in the sink or the laundry that has to be done. No, I'm setting a timer. I'm sitting down. I'm making some art. I'll quit preaching now. Okay, we've got some purples in there. That's looking pretty. How about some blues? I'm feeling blue. Let's go with that. And I'm just going to mix it right there in my purple I've been using. Why not? And let's turn some of these blue. I think this one should be. Colored a little outside the line. That's okay. I'm all right with it. Let's do that one blue. Because, you know, the light's going to hit these leaves differently everywhere. So I feel like a few blue ones up top or at certain angles, it'll catch your eye and keep it moving around the page. So I'm jumping over here now. And if you notice, I'm hitting the leaves that are behind other leaves because I have these darker colors that I'm using. Okay, and let's see. More blues. Start hitting some of these because they really are back and behind. And I might even let this color sit on some of these leaves for a little minute just to really soak in. Let's see. And I'm not painting the stems yet. I think I'm gonna, I don't know what I'm gonna do with those yet. That's all right. I'll figure it out. Now see, I like how this one's darker than all the others. It really pushes it to the background, and you'll see it more as it dries. Yeah. Okay. Let me get my other rag. I just cut up old shirts and stuff that I'm done with and use them as rags for my art. Again, I don't like wasting things. And if it's not good enough to give to Goodwill, well then, yeah, I'm gonna cut it up and use it myself. So I've switched to a little bit of phthalo green. I was pulling it from over here. Let me move this over a little bit there. So this is a phthalo green, and then this is a hooker's green hue. And that is that green right there, these two greens. Light wash. I can start pulling some of these leaves that are in the front and just kind of giving them that little tint of green. We'll start building up some of these colors and some of these ones that are closer to us that we put the pink on even. We're going to let a little bit of that pink show through, but so I've put it kind of heavy there, and now I've got more water on my brush, and I'm going to start in the area of the pink and go into the green. Add more water. Help it move around. That's kind of pretty. And blot it. Like, Julie, you're getting rid of all the colors. Well, yeah, it's just part of the layering that I do, and I don't know. I'm kind of exploring my way through this process. I really haven't done this before with watercolors, truth be told. But we're just going to go with it. I think it's going to be a pretty effect. Very washy, lots of water. And I can always put a blob of water and lift more off if I want to, like we did the other day. Okay. So I'm just kind of playing. I'm just going to pick another color. I got a little bored with the blues and the purples, so I switched to the green. So okay, I'm going to go for more green. Why not? Hit some of these leaves that are in front. And maybe these that are in the back, I can hit even more. Let's see, yeah. I like that. All right. Yeah, I just went green to purple, blue. I don't know. Let's see. I know it's going to be dark, so I'm going to find somewhere that needs to go in the back. That one, this one. Colored a little outside of the line, but I can just blot it good. And if I still have more outside the line, I can wet it and then blot just that area, and it should lift it off. little bit outside the line right there. Blotting it off. Okay, cool. Maybe some more of that blue with this green. Let's hit some of these behind with a little darker shade of that green. And do you guys see what the red is doing now? It's just really bringing some depth to the leaves when I really haven't had to paint very much. Instead of sitting there with 4 different colors of green trying to figure out which color's right, I would rather put lots of colors and have the mix and have it look a little more dynamic rather than all just green. So now I've got shades of blue, green, purple all poking out from that leaf, which is, I think it's pretty. Okay, a little more green. I'm going to continue with this leaf too. Okay. Yeah. These are kind of down in the corner, so I'm just going to continue to make them a little darker. I am going to blot. I know I just painted outside the line right there too. I'll get it. I'm not worried about it. I'm going to continue on with what I'm doing instead of stopping because I don't want a hard line in these leaves. So I'd rather finish my motion, blot a little bit, then I'll come back. Very wet brush. Okay, and then I'm just going to blot super hard on this outside part that I don't want. Ooh, and that lifted it off pretty nicely. Not bad. Just lifting off a little more. Okay, and see, we can always go and put more layers, and that's what we're going to continue to do, is just keep working it. It's only been 15 minutes, so I'm pleased with what's happening in 15 minutes. Grab some more blue. Apparently, I like coloring outside the lines with this blue a lot. Dang it. Okay. All right. All right, back to green. We're going to start turning these some pretty colors. That one, I want this front one brighter, like a bright green. We'll come back and get this one back behind it and make it darker so that you can tell the difference between these two, between those two. So I love those red accents too. I don't want to cover up all the red because it's so dang interesting. Okay, I like that green. All right. Yeah, this is just a process, but I'm not afraid to mess it up. Okay, so like these phthalos, yeah, I've got it pretty watery, and I am nervous about putting the phthalo on the paper because I know it stains so much. So you'll see me grab some, and I'll even get one more last little bit of water before I then get it on the paper. I just want to make sure I'm not putting too much down. Dang it, I colored outside the line again. I'm good at that. Apparently I color outside the lines a lot in life. Okay. See, and as I go, I'm getting a little more bold as to what colors or how much color I'm actually leaving on the paper. I'm getting a little more confident as I paint. Okay, let's figure out what's happening here. This leaf is curling up a bit. So this is behind. And that leaf is going to get, this little part right there is going to get the highlight. Kind of cool. I like it darker near the stem. I'm going to try to do that with all of them by the end and get them a little darker by the stem. I'll even put a pop of this opera rose, I think. I love a pop of a hot color and even some yellow. I'll probably build some yellow into the stems to make it look like sunlight's hitting it. Wow, I gotta go. Let's go. If I'm gonna get all this done, we'll see what happens. I'm very optimistic though. So I'm just pushing these further into the background. Just rinsing it a little. I'm not pulling it across. I still have the loaded water and I'm coming back to this because I don't want that hard line there. See, and with it a little lighter at the edge of the leaf up here, it looks like it's kind of poking out now and the rest of it's recessed back. Put some blue in this one. I just want it a little different than the one that's next to it. Added a little more water. Okay. Hit this one with that same green just so it looks like it all goes together. This one in front, I'm going to wait to do this one and this one because I do want them kind of shimmery, lighter towards us, and I don't want this background to move with these colors that I've dropped in there. And I actually like the contrast between how dark that is and the rest of the leaves. I think it really builds interest back there. All right, so I'm gonna grab some of this Hooker's green and come back on this one. The way that I've drawn these leaves right in here, it's a little bit awkward because they're layered on top of each other. I want them to look like 4 separate leaves, you know. I don't want them to all smush in together, so I need to make sure that I'm retaining some properties of each. And don't be afraid. Also, I have white gouache at my fingertips right here in this bottom corner that I can always come back and add highlights at the end. I also love the Daniel Smith neutral tint for shadows, low lights, because it doesn't take away from the color that it's being mixed with. Okay, let's see. More greens. More greens. Let's put some fun ones in. How about this? This one looks like it's coming forward and in the light more. So I am, let's go back to this yellow and make like a limey situation. That's bright and nice. See, they're hanging out there in all that yellow sunlight. So are these a little bit. Wow. And yeah, the younger leaves are usually a lighter green too on most plants. I know I've got eucalyptus sitting right next to me. But yeah, they're lighter at the end. And this is my artistic license of the colors I'm putting down. As long as I'm, like I said the other day, as long as I'm keeping not an exact of, you know, what is right here in real life.